What's going on, Fit Fam? In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to properly measure your progress and accurately determine what your target should be to reach your fitness goals. There are three main things you need to track every week to properly measure your progress. Photos from the front, side, and back where you can clearly see your body wearing something like workout shorts and a sports bra. Body measurements using a measuring tape. And last and least important is your total weight. With this information, you are going to be able to figure out the most important statistic of all, your body fat percentage. Most women want to achieve the same lean, healthy physique. Small waist with a flat stomach, shapely arms, sculpted legs, and of course, a poppin' round booty. In order to achieve this healthy, lean physique, it is a combination of two main factors: decreasing your overall body fat percentage and increasing your lean muscle mass. Specifically, you want to be somewhere between 18 to 22% body fat and add somewhere between 10 to 20 pounds of muscle onto your body. That is how you achieve that lean, sculpted physique and are able to keep it year-round, even if you're traveling the world and eating lots of carbs like your girl. When it comes to these numbers, it's important to not get too caught up in the specifics. It's very difficult to know 100% accurately what your body fat percentage is, but that's okay. You don't need to know the precise number. You just need to be more or less accurate, and then most importantly, be measuring the progress you make with these numbers week after week, month after month, as you work towards your fitness goals. So how do you figure out what your body fat percentage is? You're gonna need to know your age, height, as well as take 3 different body measurements. At your neck, right below your Adam's apple, at your waist, at the smallest part, and then at your hips, at the widest part. Muscle actually weighs more than fat, but it is much more dense, so it takes up less space on your body. This is why losing weight is not always actually a good thing, because if you're losing muscle weight, that is not what you want, because you're going to be losing shape in your body as well as weakening your metabolism. The more muscle you have on your body, the faster your metabolism will be, which means you can be eating a lot of food and staying lean year-round. Take it from me, I am always traveling the world, I eat a ton of food, and I wake up every single morning with 6-pack abs, and I'm gonna share with you how you can do that too. So as you go through your fitness journey, you might actually gain weight. So this is why the number on the scale is not something to worry about, because it depends where that weight is actually coming from. Honestly, this is why the best way to track your progress is just taking photos every single week. You'll be able to tell in the photos how your body is changing more than you'd be able to tell just from seeing the number on the scale. The best number you should be looking at to know whether you are actually leaning out overall, not just losing or gaining total weight, is your waist measurement. Whether you're male or female, if you are effectively leaning out while also gaining muscle, your waist will always get smaller and smaller. So this is an important number to pay attention to. The numbers on the rest of your body might go up or down. For example, your hip measurement will probably actually increase as you make those booty gains. This is a good measurement to see going up, because it means that you are adding muscle to that peach. Hello, that's what we all want, a poppin' butt. So now I'm gonna walk you through how I am going to measure my body stats and figure out what my body fat percentage is, and then from there, how I can determine what my nutrition and workout targets should be, so that you too can follow this information to figure out what your numbers and your targets should be. All right, so now I'm gonna show you the websites that you can use to figure out your body fat percentage as well as your calorie targets. Okay, so This first one is the Navy Body Fat Calculator. So go ahead, add in your age, female obviously, and add in your height and neck, waist, and hip measurements. You can do imperial or metric. So I'm getting about 22% body fat. So now we're gonna take that over to this link. So this is Mike Matthews macronutrient calculator from Legion Athletics. What you're gonna do is put in your total weight over here. So I was 132 pounds this morning, and then 22% body fat. So here you have your activity level, okay? So you're gonna either choose lightly active if you are exercising pretty frequently, but maybe not actually doing hardcore strength training, which if you aren't, I really recommend that you get on that, because that is how you're going to get amazing results and stay lean with an amazing body, a crazy fast metabolism year round, okay? So if you are doing that, if you are going in the gym and you're lifting weights like at least 3 or 4 times a week, then you're gonna choose moderately active, okay? So that's the one that I am. All right, so now it's gonna give you a couple different numbers. So this is your lean body mass, all right? So as you are going along in your fitness journey, you should see this number going up, because it means that you are gaining muscle, which is what we want, all right? And then this is your basal metabolic rate. So this is the total amount of calories that you are burning just by being alive every single day. Then you have your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, so this is determining what your total calories are based on your BMR with your activity level. So right now for me, I'm burning a little bit more than 1900 calories per day. All right, so again, these numbers are kind of just a rough estimate. Obviously, it's difficult to be 100% accurate, but that's okay. You don't need to know precisely the numbers. You just need to have a general idea. All right, so then you're gonna have 3 presets you can choose. So cutting is what you want to do if your goal is fat loss, which is what it's going to be for almost everyone. Maintain is just to stay the exact same, and then bulking is once you have already leaned out and you've lost all the fat that you want to lose, and now you want to start to add a bunch of muscle onto your frame, okay? So choose cutting. It's going to give you a 20% calorie deficit, which is a very good spot to be in, because you don't want to have too much of an aggressive deficit. Otherwise, you're going to actually start to lose too much muscle and then also affect your metabolism, all right? So it needs to be a moderately aggressive number, which is 20%. So for me, it's giving me about 1550 calories per day, which is a very good number to be at for me to lose a little bit more body fat. All right, so I wouldn't use the macro recommendations he's giving you here, simply because I have figured out a way to make it a lot easier for most women. So that's what I'm gonna talk about next. The most important numbers to pay attention to with your nutrition is your total daily calories and your protein target, simply because protein is the macronutrient that is going to have the biggest effect on changing your overall body composition. Now, I know a lot of people can get very confused about exactly how much of each macronutrient they should have, and I too used to find this really confusing. However, after tracking my calories and macros for several years, as well as helping so many other women do the same, I've broken it down to a couple key stats. For protein, you should aim somewhere between 70 to 100 grams per day. If you find that you can eat even more than that, then great, go for it, but it's not really necessary. However, really try to not go much under that, because again, if you're not having enough protein, you're going to find it very difficult to gain enough muscle, and this is usually one of the key areas where most women are going wrong. When it comes to your fats and carbs, it honestly doesn't really matter a whole lot. Find the ratio that works best for you. I encourage you to experiment both with what you enjoy eating and also how your body responds. Some people are going to respond really well to carbs and other people maybe not so much. However, I would say a fairly good gauge for how much fat you should be having per day is somewhere around 40 to 50 grams a day. Then once you know you should be having about 70 to 100 grams of protein a day, maybe between 40 to 50 grams of fat, whatever amount is left over from your calories will go to the carbs. So how do you know how many calories and macronutrients you are actually eating? You have to track it using an app like MyFitnessPal. While tracking can be a little bit annoying and tedious, I do really strongly encourage you to do it for at least a couple of months so that you can understand exactly how much food you really are consuming and what that looks like in terms of each macro. After you have done that and you've gotten some great results, you've leaned out, you've built a bunch of muscle, and you actually understand how much your body needs to reach your goals, you can start to back away from tracking and do more of an intuitive style based eating, because you'll know what portion sizes should look like and you'll know how to understand your body's signals if you need more food. So every single week, you're gonna be tracking your measurements as well as looking at your total calories and macros. So if you're sure that you have been 100% accurate with your nutrition intake and you're not seeing any decrease at your waistline, especially after a week or two, then maybe you need to evaluate what you're doing. You should be seeing progress happening if you're doing things right. So if you're not, then there's only two options that you can do. You can either cut your calories a little bit more or increase the amount of activity you're doing. However, you don't want to cut your calories too low. I would never recommend going any lower than a 30% deficit from what your total daily energy expenditure is, which you saw on the macronutrient calculator. If you've cut it to a 30% deficit maximum, then you're gonna need to increase your activity instead in order to make progress. However, if you're following these numbers and you're making sure that you're prioritizing your strength training, you should definitely be seeing progress very quickly and effectively. I also recommend that you come back and reevaluate what your total calories are every couple of weeks to make sure that you are always progressing in the right direction. All right, that's it for today, Fit Fam. I hope this video was helpful for you. Drop your key takeaways below, and best of luck on your fitness journey. You're gonna crush it, girl. See you next time.